I'm having a bit of a play with setup for teaching on Zoom. And basically, I've got Zoom recording at the moment, and it's using the FaceTime camera there. And kind of this is how I'd normally do some teaching, right? And if I wanted to share the screen, I'd head up to share, and I'd go to share desktop 2, and we'd end up sharing this text editor up here, right? And that way I can still have my face from the main camera being shared to people. And I can also have this so they can see my face and this. And that kind of works for like coding stuff. I've got a mic set up here, right? So that works for coding stuff, and it means that I get to keep my notes on this screen or over on this screen, right? But something I'm kind of playing with is how do you like replicate notebooks and whiteboards when you're doing this kind of teaching. And there's obviously a whiteboard if you go to Zoom. If I just go to new share, I can go to the Zoom whiteboard. And I can kind of use this, and it's collaborative, right? So this has replaced the screen up here. But I've been trying to think, like, is there any easier way of showing these kind of things than drawing it on here and then having to save it and come back to it and stuff? So I've been having a mess with sharing an iPad, but also sharing content from a second camera. So over here, I've got this, I don't know if you can see, I've got this other camera set up, which is like a Logitech webcam. It's just on a mic, like a mic arm, and that's pointing at this kind of notebook. And so on the share, if I go to share content from a second camera, we've still got my face being shared from the webcam here, so that people can, that's on the small screen, people can see it, but we've got this, which is also sharing here. And what that means is I can do stuff like I can start trying to explain things. So we could be talking about, okay, there's a box, and then that thing can go up here, and imagine I don't know, like whiteboarding, right? And I kind of like this because it's like it's kind of doing stuff with paper. I just think it feels nice somehow, and even like the style of it, where it's kind of very loose. I just feel like it feels kind of nice when stuff's being explained to you. Like in real life, when you're with someone, you often explain things on paper by pointing at things, and then by drawing boxes around things and whatever. And it's hard to replicate that with digital tools. So I'm going to try this out next time I'm doing some teaching or I'm having a remote meeting with somebody and I need to explain something. The only downside, obviously, is that it's only me that can draw here. The other thing I've been playing with is using an iPad. So what I've got here is I've got an iPad set up with paper by 53, and I've got one of their old stylus things here, and that's just plugged into my little hub down here, which is all wired into the laptop. And I'm hoping that if I go to share, a iPad or iPhone, there we are, cool. So we can now share this. And like, again, if I start drawing, if I draw like a box on here, this kind of works in the same way. So paper is pretty cool. You can draw circles and things, and it will also turn them into kind of proper circles. And I can come and go, which one is it? Is it that one? But I can come and like color things in with watercolor and stuff. I actually can't remember how you. Oh, it's that one. So yeah, I can like fill these out. And the nice thing about this is that if I've got this pen, it's quite nice to write on here. So like, it's. I don't know. It just looks kind of nice. And I guess the ability to move things around and undo things is good, because it also means that I can do stuff like grab that big pen and I can draw like big arrows and stuff, and kind of really highlight things. And then if I want to move back, I've got an undo, which is something that, I don't have with paper. Although that's not very good there. But yeah, it's kind of cool. So paper's worth checking out. I could obviously also do this with the Notes app. And I kind of feel like actually having both of these things maybe set up together is almost even better. And as in, I could use both and jump between the two of them. I'm not sure which one will actually work best, but I'm gonna give both of them a go in a real context and try to find out. So there we are. You can kind of see here. That's my whole setup at the moment. So yeah, let's see what works and what doesn't.